Get ready with me while I tell you about my toxic relationship with the biggest gaslighting manipulator I've ever met in my entire life. To give you guys some context, I knew of this guy for a while because in my area it's kind of weird for a guy to be a creator. So he'd always be in my DMs. Sometimes I would ignore it, sometimes I'd answer it. Most of the time I ignore because don't be weird in the DMs. I bumped into him by accident on a night out, and that is where our story began. Obviously, the way he was in messages, I didn't expect nothing serious because that's not really how you want your relationship to begin. After the first night we hung out, it was like crazy instant. He was around my place every single day. And then he started like love bombing the shit out of me, like saying, I want this to be something serious, like never felt this way before. I was eating it up, obviously. Like, we got along well, and I thought, why not? Like, let's see where this goes. Maybe a month in, not long at all. It was like a complete personality switch. He went from one thing to another thing. He knew at this point that I was invested enough that he could start, you know, taking his mask off and showing his true colours. He started being more flaky and suspicious, yet I had to still let him know. Everyone I spoke to, everywhere I was going, like, just already keeping tabs on me, and we were literally like a month in, probably. Literally caused a big argument because I went to Nando's with a friend, started screaming, saying like, oh my god, you're out looking for attention and validation, like I'm gonna come pack all my shit up. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know. I should have been like, okay, pack your shit, but obviously I didn't. This is sort of where I began to start changing completely as a person. Like, didn't really want to leave the house. Makes sense now for, you know, those sort of reasons. Was developing like high anxiety. One time I posted a selfie on Instagram and he blew up on me saying it's cheap behavior. It put him off me, and yeah, caused a big argument. I had to delete it. These psychological games obviously made me not want to post online anymore. I lost all my confidence. I was just like, okay, I'll just be in your cage. He had me exactly where he wanted me. At this point, we have made a joint page. We kind of had joint TikToks and Instagrams as well, but it was all to promote the site. I was like doing everything for the joint page, wasn't really doing my own anymore. It's because every time I would do my own, I feel like it would cause arguments, like that he didn't trust me and he wanted access to it, wanted all the passwords. And normally I would, but I just didn't trust him for some reason. I didn't want him to have the passwords to all my stuff. At this point, I was solely focused on our joint stuff, streaming on a website he introduced me to where we had to do stuff on streams. And yeah, constantly making content that was all 50-50% split. Or so as I thought it was 50% split. I never once had access to our joint accounts, and to this day don't know if he was sending me the correct amount of money. At one point we were making really good money with it. I mentioned one time, I was like, can I like see like the amount of money? Like, I want to see what we made yesterday. He started absolutely blowing up at me, screaming, saying like, are you accusing me of stealing or something? So obviously I ended up being the bad guy and he was the victim. When you're in these toxic relationships, I feel like sometimes you confuse your actual connection with love. I feel like it was this weird thing where you get like addicted to the up and down of a relationship and you get stuck. He wore me down until I literally felt like I was beneath him and needed him. But then he would be really nice, like random points, and then you think that they care about you because they want you to make money, but really maybe he just wanted him to make money. I still thought he cared about me up until the other day, and I thought it was just his issues that were the problem, because obviously I forgot to mention a big part of the story. He has quite a big snow addiction. I've recently found out that he's repeated all this same cycle with his most current ex, made them a joint blue page, was keeping the money, asking to see our bank statements, which that's a new one. But yeah, she didn't have access to the joint accounts either. He's told her that he was only with me for work, and I quote, didn't care about me at all. It was just business and all an act. That man lived with me, rent free, may I add. So not only did he keep 50% of all our money that we were making, I still had to pay all the rent. I don't know what was wrong with me. If I had someone that telling me all this tea, obviously this wouldn't have happened. He used to steal my car, disappear, obviously off doing God knows what, drugs and stuff. Just take my car. He didn't have a car at the time, so he obviously needed me. Yet he convinced me and had me thinking I needed him. It seems to be a pattern that he's getting with girls younger than him. I don't know if it's like a thing, like easier to manipulate. unfortunately that probably is what it is. Luckily I know now, and we'll be smarter next time. There's way more to this story, but maybe that'll be for another part. If you want part 2, let me know.